Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 63-year-old New Jersey resident and Air Force veteran James Breheny, I think is how you pronounce it. He was a member of the Oath Keepers when he took part in the Capitol siege. In fact, he was a county coordinator for the Oath Keepers in his home state. And in late December of 2020, Breheny held a leadership meeting. They were preparing for January 6th specifically. Prior to the meeting, Breheny sent a message to Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes, and he asked him if he would attend. And Breheny wrote, quote, "This will be the day we get our comms on point with multiple other patriot groups, share rally points, etc. This one is important, and I believe this is our last chance to organize before the show. This meeting will be for leaders only. No cell phones. Need to be Faraday bag prior to sight." So interesting that they didn't think they were doing anything wrong, but they felt the need to keep cell phones out of the room and to use Faraday bags to block their cell signals or prevent hacking. Yeah. So anyway, Breheny has said since that he feels he was duped by the Oath Keepers. But on January 6th, he was seen outside the East Rotunda doors. He was among a mob that was assaulting officers. He was not, but he was there. He was witnessing all of this. They were throwing things at the police. They were spraying them with chemicals. Breheny, as I said, he didn't participate in the violence, but he was there. He saw all of what was going down, and he entered the Capitol anyway. So he was seen on surveillance video walking around in the Capitol Rotunda. He exited about 5 to 6 minutes after he entered, so he wasn't in for very long. And Breheny admitted to the FBI that he entered the building with the intent to prevent Congress from certifying the election. So following the Capitol attack, Breheny messaged some of his contacts. He bragged about his crime, and he wrote things like, "I breached the Capitol door, we breached the door, baby, made it in, brother." And he posted on Facebook, quote, "People need to stand up and fight. We are losing by unfair tactics and misrepresentations. Sooner or later, this had to happen. They refuse to hear the cases that would allow our voices to be heard. So what other option do you have? We exhausted all legal channels. They refuse to investigate any of the crimes or voter issues. Therefore, the government has become tyrannical. The people's deputy is to replace the government with one they agree with. I'm all ears. What's our options?" So Breheny also discussed the destruction of evidence with other people. They talked about how to conceal their involvement. And in one message, Breheny said, quote, "I have to clear chats." And then in other messages, associates of Breheny advised that he delete all of his messages and all of his photos and that he get a new phone. So he did. He went out and he got a new phone. Not only did he delete all of his January 6 photos, he deleted his entire Facebook account. So Breheny was arrested on May 19th of 2021. And he was charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, and obstructing an official proceeding. In June of 2023, Breheny pleaded guilty to the felony charge of obstructing an official proceeding. So he faced up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the government requested a very weak sentence of only 6 months of home detention, 3 years of probation, 120 hours of community service, and $2,000 in restitution. The prosecutor was willing to give him this slap on the wrist because of his, quote, early acceptance of responsibility and the substantial assistance he has provided to law enforcement. Now, at first, I was thinking, what you talking about, Willis? Right? What are you talking about? It was 2 years after his arrest that he finally took a plea, but according to the sentencing memo, Breheny admitted his crimes as soon as he was approached by the FBI. So that was January 14th of 2021. And they said that right after he was arrested, he offered to cooperate and he sat for proffer sessions immediately. So it sounds like it was the government that held off on solidifying the plea deal with him right away. And whatever Breheny gave them, it must have been significant because the prosecutor redacted a large segment of the sentencing memo regarding specifically his cooperation. Also, the government told the judge they would submit a separate sentencing memo without those redactions, but they would submit that version under seal. It seems odd since all of the Oath Keepers' leadership has already been sentenced, but again, they must have had a reason that he must have given them something good. Anyway, U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta presided over Breheny's case, and he said that in all of the Oath Keepers cases he's handled, Breheny is the first member of the group who's been cooperative and honest about his actions. So Judge Mehta told Breheny, quote, "And you deserve some credit for it." So in the end, the judge sentenced Breheny to 6 months of home detention, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. So he gave the prosecutor everything they asked for, with the exception of the community service. I get he cooperated and all, but I think this was far too weak, especially for a felony conviction that comes with a 20-year maximum sentence. And consider this, someone like Pam Hemphill, who I've had on the show, she received 60 days in prison for doing essentially the same thing Breheny did, only she didn't talk in advance about overturning the election. And the difference is she pleaded to a misdemeanor of parading in the Capitol. That crime comes with a 6-month max. So because she didn't have evidence to give up on a militia leader, she should receive prison time, but a guy who plotted to purposely stop the transfer of power receives no time behind bars. Just make it make sense. That makes no sense. Anyway, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you can donate, truly appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.